Good morning. So, early morning drive, all the realizations, all the awesome, cool stuff that can possibly come to mind, of course, comes fluttering in. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm recording this video when I park, coming out of the grocery store, so that way people aren't too taken back by me talking to myself. So, a couple of things that came up, and I think the one that I'm going to shoot with for this specific video is about recognizing when you are being separated. There is this component, an aspect of leveling up in life where you start to notice common themes that have happened across your life, that have happened across years of it. And one that I have noticed for myself is that I've lived in a lot of different places, and I tend to meet lots of people that are really cool. They think I'm really cool. We're like, yay, we're friends. We're going to all be cool, which is great and awesome. So every level of life, there's definitely folks that I have met along the way. And something that used to, I still feel it. That's why it even came up at this point. Something that I realize it hurts is to notice when you have either moved on or people no longer find you as accessible, minimally because of geographical location, which was one of the primary reasons how and when I would find myself noticing the times that people I was close to and held a lot of space for in my heart and in my schedule in my life, I won't say that they stopped holding the same space for me, but they were able to probably recognize sooner than I was that the amount of work it will take to maintain the connection on the same intensity as it was when I did live in a closer geographical area isn't the best use of time when there are people that are closer. So for the other folks that I came in contact with or that I met, it's great for them that they were able to find other people. But for myself, what tends to happen is I have always moved a lot throughout my adult life. And I'm not 100% sure why, and I can unpack that at a later point in time. But I would make these connections. So even in California, I know a lot of people from San Fernando Valley, LA area, San Gabriel Valley, now the IE area. And I'm sure there's some other places too that I have some prominent, folks like the Bay Area. Like none of these are just next door to each other that in 20 minutes you're there and bam, you're hanging out. And 20 minutes can be a lot when you are worn out, you've got a lot going on, and people are living their own lives, have their own families. Maybe they don't have families, but they have an active life that isn't as intense as mine would always seem to be. Again, there's nothing wrong with people wanting your attention and time, but the people-pleasing aspect of me, of people not wanting to disappoint others, will put you in a position where you will run yourself ragged to try to prove a point and be around people because you genuinely like them and want to be around them. And then when you realize you are too tired to still show up because maturity has started to settle in, you'll see and notice they didn't stop doing the things. You just aren't around to be a part of it anymore. They connected more closely with people that are closer, have more availability, have more of the same interest, are on the same pace. And not that people are not choosing to level up, but the way in which they're going about it and doing it might not align with how you want to anymore. It may have worked before, and I venture to say for myself, if I had gotten out of the fear of the things when I first came across them, almost everything I've ever done, I have thought of doing it years before, dabbled with it, then got scared and stopped. When I chose to come back around to it, of course, it's a thing, it's a vibe, everyone's doing it now. I say that to say, if you give yourself permission to go ahead and be you, undeniably, unapologetically, fearlessly, the things that move your heart that you want to share with the world, they will be received by the right people. What will also happen is you will notice because you didn't do it then, you will evolve past a point where you can still do it in that same caliber, which means you still have to level up and you don't get to still stay in the same state, the same mindset, or the same tax bracket even that you were before. That doesn't mean that you can't still have care and love for the folks that were maybe in that space or in that time or period of life, or even the activities that you used to engage in that filled you up just as much as the people you were around. But it does mean if you have a desire and you are a person that is consistently evolving, that is consistently finding new ways to enhance and increase the way you do life, you will not be able to maintain the same exact people forever in the same exact capacity. This can be challenging when you are looking for a romantic partner just the same. So if you don't already have a person and you two are evolving pretty much at about the same pace, what you'll notice is you'll either come across someone that moves faster than you, or people that don't move at all, but they're intrigued by you because you do, or someone that maybe they want to and you've inspired them, and that's great for them, but for you it's not going to work because the pace that you're moving at and where you're trying to get to, you'll find yourself being worn out trying to get them on the same level. And it will always feel like you're in a constant state of needing to leave or having to move on. And there is a part of, if you don't want to displease people, of commitment issues where you may try to leave before it's even a thing. That's a whole nother topic. But when you know that you have more to give and you're not even scratching the surface of what you perceive your potential is, while others can see how awesome and great you are today, right this minute. So please don't dismiss how great you are because you're in pursuit of a better version. It will not be effortless for you to find the space and the capacity to enjoy people for the seasons and the moments that they are there, and understand that because you do choose to evolve, you will have to continue to evolve beyond where you were previously at. Can you keep the same connections? Absolutely. Should you show up and periodically engage? Totally. But you will find more periods in life than not where you will need to isolate yourself. You will need to, or it will happen for you naturally against your will. So if you can embrace it and notice, okay, I'm starting to feel like I'm a little more drained than usual, that's probably your key to start stepping away. You've been giving too much in areas that can get back to you. So please don't get it twisted. The folks, the situations, the jobs, the things, they do give to you. But when you know you need more, staying there and receiving minimum or less than isn't going to get you where you're trying to get to next. It's going to keep you in a, if you've ever, I can't remember the title of the book, but it's going to keep you in a 2x status instead of 10x. If you are desiring a life where you have freedom of time, of energy, of just any of the things that would allow you to really be the greatest version of yourself, doing things that are just 1 to 2 times greater than what you were doing isn't going to get you there at a pace that's going to allow you to enjoy it. You will have to 10x some things, which means if you are doing 80% of the stuff and it's producing, whatever it's producing, you're going to have to cut it down to only doing 20% and letting the 80 be on automation or someone else in order to get there. So hanging out with friends, it doesn't mean you outsource your friendship time. It does mean it can't be the priority if you're trying to evolve and create something new. If you are building a business specifically, then I won't say creating a relationship can't be your priority, but understand there's only so much time in each day. You have to decide what's most important. If building your relationship is what is most important, understand that other things won't be able to have the same amount of intensity and time either. If pouring into your children is a specific thing, that means that the other connections and relationships don't take precedence or priority. If pouring into yourself, ding, 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 is your priority, other people's needs, wishes, and wants cannot come before yours, because you will not be able to give to them in a way that's meaningful or valuable. Well, I want to thank y'all for joining me on this. I would say live and drive like I used to do literally probably 8 some years ago, but my commute is so short. I don't have a live and drive. I just have a, when I show up in the car and happen to have the time and the recollection, thanks to the different drugs I do these days, drugs that are enhancing my livelihood, aside from recreational things, on those moments where there's that inkling of a chance more of these will be coming. So while we may not be doing the Freedom Tea Talks in the same intensity as I was historically, and these are definitely going to be listed under the same podcast, who knows, it may come back as those switches in where my time is spent and energy is shown. I'll be able to show that manifestation of what that looks like on the next level up, because this is a hibernation period for leveling up.